Hello everyone, and thank you very much for joining us today at the Elcom Digital Workplace webinar. So that's the agenda for today. We'll look at the term digital workplace, we'll look at the emerging digital workplace trends, some of the key benefits of a digital workplace, and the practical steps to building a digital workplace. So first up, what is a digital workplace? I really like this definition here from Step 2 Designs, and they're one of the global thought leaders on intranet. The digital workplace consists of a holistic set of tools, platforms, and environments for work delivered in a coherent, usable, and productive way. So a fantastic definition there. So really, a digital workplace is a place that empowers you, your team, your colleagues, your clients and partners to share, communicate, and collaborate with little to no friction, delay, or challenge. Do you currently have a digital workplace? When you think about it, you may realize that there are certain tools and platforms that you use that are making up your digital workplace. Or maybe you don't have any platforms in place and are looking to implement a digital workplace. So I'd like to jump into a poll and ask the question, has your organization implemented a digital workplace? So you'll see a poll pop up on the screen there. We've got 4 options. Has your organization implemented a digital workplace? Yes, no, in progress, or we're evaluating the idea. So if everyone could please jump in there and vote for that. We're very interested to see the results coming through. Let everyone vote, and then we will share those results with you in a moment. Some really interesting results coming through. We'll let everyone vote for another 10 seconds or so. So anyone that hasn't voted, please jump in there and vote. And all right, I'm going to close off that poll, and I'll share those results with everybody to have a look at. And the results we've got, so 13% said yes, they have implemented a digital workplace. 16% said no. 55% are in progress, and I see that more than half of the audience today are in progress. So I think you'll find some really useful gems of information, tips and tricks in what you can do to improve that process and how do you make that better. And 16% are evaluating the idea there. So it is interesting to see, and as we go through the webinar, hopefully you might be able to identify certain areas that your organization might already be doing, you just didn't realize were actually there and in place. Digital workplace trends. So let's have a look at what's happening in the market there. What are we seeing in the market? Employees are working remotely. According to the Global Workplace Analytics reports that they run, they provide research into and analytics into the global workplace trends and strategies. 20 to 25% of the USA workforce teleworks at some frequency. Whether they work remotely full-time, part-time, or their role requires them to be out of the office and on the go, whether they're traveling or at a client's office, the trend of remote working is increasing. And as such, we need a set of tools to help facilitate this trend and support our colleagues who are working remotely. You don't really get to walk over to the cooler anymore and have a chat to someone while you're trying to get a glass of water or a coffee, because everyone is out and about and working remotely. So you need those tools in place to help support that changing landscape. Social tools are being used in the enterprise. Social tools are no longer just for personal use. There are many enterprise social tools available that you can very easily use and implement as part of the organization. Up to 80% of businesses use social collaboration tools for enhancing business processes. That's a huge statistic there. Employees want to use these tools as part of their digital workplace. So if businesses are not implementing social tools, the trend shows that employees start to use their own social collaboration applications, which eventually leads to silos of information because everyone is off doing their own thing and finding their own tool that's going to help meet their specific needs. So have a think about it. Do you have a social collaboration tool as part of your digital workplace? And think about the teams in the organization. Do any of them have their own social collaboration tools that they're using maybe just for that team or that department? Or do you have something that's actually connected across the whole organization? The statistics are there to show the trend, which helps you build your business case if you are trying to catch up. Here are 2 really interesting statistics about collaboration. According to a study done by the Queen's University of Charlotte, about 75% of employers rate teamwork and collaboration as very important, and 86% of employees and executives cite the lack of collaboration or ineffective communication for workplace failures. These show the reason for the increasing trend towards encouraging and supporting collaboration across an organization and the importance that employers and management place on collaboration. Imagine how successful and how much more effective your projects would be if your team could collaborate effectively. The digital workplace is the perfect solution to help encourage collaboration in the organization. With more employees working remotely, having access to information when and where your employees and colleagues require is vital. Your digital workplace needs to be mobile and tablet-friendly. I won't go into the discussion of a mobile-friendly site versus a native mobile app today, but those are also important points to consider. If you're interested in learning more about the different mobile approaches, we have a mobile best practice white paper available on the Elcom website, so you can go there and download it. We will also send a link to this in our follow-up email. Another trend is the idea of a one-stop shop or integration of the digital workplace with other applications in the organization. No longer an intranet standalone applications, but very often they're integrated to other solutions. This might include integration to other systems such as Microsoft Office, your document management system, a CRM, a marketing automation solution, ERP, and more. And the list can just go on and on. Sometimes it's certain custom-developed systems that you've got internally. Other times it might be a new solution you're about to start implementing that's around your specific industry or your line of business. So if you think about it, there are so many different applications in the organization, the different teams are using and different departments are using, and the trend is definitely towards bringing those all together. And so it's really important to understand how these different solutions will actually integrate with each other. The big question is, how do we do this effectively, properly? How do we make sure we're ticking all the boxes? And really an important point there is to consider putting together an implementation roadmap that consists of a number of phases. This can make it easier for you to manage your workload, manage your budget, and priorities of the digital workplace project. With regard to integration, this might be something you look to do in phase 1 or in a later phase, but planning ahead and building the roadmap will help ensure your success. So think about all the different applications you have there, and I've listed a few examples of those, and think about what's the highest priority, what's the system that everyone is interacting with on a day-to-day basis, or which are the employees that really need that digital workplace, your intranet, to be that gateway to the rest of the organization, and that might be the first solution you look at integrating with in phase 1. And then in phase 2, you might bring the second highest priority into the mix. Depending on your project time frame, depending on budget, depending on your bandwidth, you might be able to do multiple integration parts of the project in your first phase, or they might actually need to wait to phase 2 or phase 3 before you even get into it. Every organization is different, but it is something to think about because you don't want to implement another solution that's going to be siloed off and separate from the rest of the organization. The idea of the digital workplace is really bringing everything together and having a solid solution in place that can easily integrate and talk to the other applications will help you actually deliver a cohesive digital workplace to the rest of the organization. And that's often something, the idea of integration, that isn't thought of at the beginning. Often organizations will just be looking at getting something up and running and deploying it and worrying about working everything else out later on, and that's great and it's fine to do, but it's really important that you're starting to think about what else you can do, so you're putting the right framework in place, you're getting the right plumbing in place so that when that integration is required, you've got something in place that can do it. Too often, halfway through a project, some department or division comes along and says, we'd love to integrate our application, and no one's really thought about it before, and that throws a little bit of a curveball into the mix. So it is important to think about that ahead of time, plan out the roadmap, work out what you're going to be integrating and at what time frame, and then everyone's happy and on the same page with delivering their digital workplace. So we've had a look at some of the trends and digital workplace trends out there. I'm sure having a look at a lot of them, you might have thought of those yourself or thought, yeah, that completely makes sense, and there might have been a few there that you weren't top of mind and instincts, I guess, in terms of what the market's doing. So what are the benefits of a digital workplace? Let's review them, have a look, and help you understand why would you implement and build a digital workplace. What are those benefits for you, your team, the organization? So the first is increased collaboration. Many digital workplace tools are focused on collaboration, so it's no surprise that the digital workplace will lead to increased collaboration. You and your team will be able to share information and ideas in an easy and user-friendly way. Having one place to go to share, review, and update documents helps to ensure that everyone's working together and towards that common goal. How often do you go ask someone else, where's that latest document? Or how often are you all working on a document for a client and you're actually working on completely different versions of it and you haven't collaborated whatsoever and you're either contradicting each other or duplicating the effort, and there's just absolutely no collaboration on a specific piece of work and a project. So a real big benefit of a digital workplace is having that consistent central location and a repository almost, that central area to go and help you and your team actually collaborate and work together. A digital workplace can also support your innovation and ideation programs, using collaborative and social tools to source and share ideas and to form teams to evolve those ideas. So you can also create proposals for improving processes, products or services, or maybe even come up with a totally new product or service for the organization. The digital workplace is a great way to collect ideas and let people evaluate and work on them together. Some of the benefits might include the ability to crowdsource ideas in the organization, or evaluating and voting on specific ideas. So you get a whole bunch of ideas together, get everyone to provide their suggestions on how the business can innovate, improve, do better, and get other users to jump in and vote on those ideas and give their feedback and work out, okay, well, what's the most feasible idea we've got over here? How do we actually innovate as an organization a lot better? Forming teams on your intranet is obviously a really big one there. At the moment, you're probably working in certain teams or departments based on role and location and function and a whole bunch of different things. Having a really easy-to-use, powerful digital workplace will help you form teams that otherwise might not have been formed because of geographical or role or skill-based limitations. So your digital workplace becomes this online place to actually form teams across borders and actually collaborate and share and innovate a lot more effectively. The idea of creating team workspaces on your intranet and digital workplace is another really powerful tool there to help you innovate. So you've got a central location to be able to share all that information. And then running those innovation projects on your intranet and digital workplace. So once you're looking at making the most of innovating in the business and the benefit of having a digital workplace to help you innovate, there's a whole range of different tools you can put in place to actually implement that and make that dream a bit more of a reality. The digital workplace will help improve communication amongst your teams as it becomes a single point of reference for your teams. Pretty interesting statistic over there, social collaboration can improve team efficiency by 20%. So just think about that. Think about the size of your team or your organization. And think about the results you will experience if you can improve everyone's efficiency by 20%. And how is it going to be improved? Whether that's the ability to find the right person or find the right document or search for the right information, whether it be the ability to suggest ideas and get feedback on those ideas and not reinvent the wheel because I've actually got a central location that we can all share, collaborate, and communicate, and I'm not spending unnecessary periods of time trying to find information that exists somewhere else or recreating something that is already there. So if you could improve your collaboration efficiency, communication efficiency, and everyone working at it by 20%, pretty amazing ROI you're getting there, and that's already helping you build that business case, especially for the 16% of users that don't have any digital workplace in place right now and the 55% that are in progress and are trying to help build your business case for the next one. And that 16% we had there in the poll that are just evaluating a digital workplace right now. Your digital workplace, your intranet, can also help connect silos of information. So it can help your team find the information they need to be more productive. And I've touched on this a little bit so far. So how can you do that? What are the key ways? Well, firstly, having a search capability on your intranet will enable someone to quickly search and find the information they need. So when I'm trying to find information, rather than walk around to a million different people or unnecessarily send additional emails to everybody or spend hours manually searching through folders and files, and we all know what that's like. Everyone's done it before. Having a digital workplace there is going to help users find the information they need, when they need it, as they need it, and ultimately help them be more productive. You're out on the road, you're visiting a client, they ask a certain question, you need to get access to a certain piece of information. It's so much quicker, more effective, and productive if you can quickly search for that in your intranet and digital workplace and bring that up and get the information straight away, rather than having to say, yeah, that's a great question. I'll make a note about that and I'll come back to you on that one, and I'll get you the answer. Or I need to go talk to someone to try to find that document. And everyone's mentioned that to clients before or to colleagues before, where you're going to have to get back to them again, and it just creates more work for you. Whereas having powerful search in your intranet and digital workplace will help connect people with information, help connect your team members and your users with the information they need, when and where they need that. Another really powerful benefit is connected employees. what is the best way to connect your team members working in multiple locations, offices, countries, and on the road? And that's right, you've guessed it, your digital workplace, your intranet. So again, you're seeing the theme and the pattern here that the digital workplace, it provides the benefit of a connected workforce, regardless of your geographical location, regardless of your role in the organization, or which team or department you might actually be in, which specific office you're sitting in, or which floor in a building or level in the building you're on. It helps remove those borders and boundaries and really enables everyone to work together on one team, rather than say, well, we're the office based in this city and that's the office based in that city, or we're this team and that's that other team and department. You want to break down those barriers. You want to get everyone working together and connecting employees so that someone who works in a similar role to you or a different team to you across the country or on the other side of the world, you actually feel part of the same organization. You feel like you're working towards that same goal, those same objectives, and you're helping deliver the same outcomes for the business. And you really need to have connected employees, connected teammates, easily able to access the same information, communicate with each other, collaborate, and share everything they're trying to work on to achieve those organization goals. So we've covered some of the trends and we've covered some of the benefits. So I'd like to run another poll over here. So I'm going to be sharing another poll and putting it up on everyone's screen right now. So you can see that poll over there. Everyone can jump in and please vote on the poll we've got on the screen there. So the poll is, what benefits does your team need for your digital workplace? So everyone jump in over there. Really interesting seeing the votes coming through so far and seeing the different options. The 5 options we've got up there are collaboration, innovation, improved communication, connect people with information, and connected employees. All right, well, I'm going to close off the poll right now. Oh, a few last-minute votes coming in over there. And I'm going to share the results there for everybody. So you can see those results on the screen. So as mentioned, everyone could select more than one, so don't try add up those percentages and get that to 100%. That's not going to work. So you can select more than one. So really interesting to see that in terms of the benefit that you feel that your team needs from a digital workplace, 68% selected collaboration, 29% selected innovation, 82% wanted to improve communication, 71% connect people with information, and 61% is connecting employees and connecting employees with each other. So really interesting to see that there, and obviously the idea of improving communication and connecting people with the right information obviously really resonate with everyone in the audience today, and obviously really the popular hot topics. So let's bring everything together and look at digital workplace in practice. We've had a look at the digital workplace trends and the benefits of a digital workplace. Let's look at how you can actually build your digital workplace. What are some of the practical things you can actually do to help build your digital workplace? There's an increasing range of tools that you can add to your intranet to help support your digital workplace strategy. Here are just a few that we feel your intranet should provide, or that you should be able to quickly add to your intranet to support your digital workplace. As you've seen in everything we've covered so far, there is so much that can be added to the digital workplace there. So we obviously don't have time to go over every single option and the best practices to implementing every single one of those options. So I'd like to just list just 9 of them today, and we're going to cover the 9 of them. And you might look at them and say, well, we've got that one's on the roadmap, or we'd love to do that one, or we have no idea how to do the other one. We can obviously work with you through that, but I would like to touch on a few of these just to help you get up and running and see how you can get the quick wins to helping implement your new digital workplace. So the first is mobile, and as we've seen with remote workforces, your digital workplace intranet needs to be mobile friendly. Make sure it's mobile responsive and easy to view on mobile and tablet devices. Think about from a design perspective, if you're in the process of doing it now or thinking about it, just keep thinking mobile first. If it's already up and running and you didn't build it for mobile, there are ways to make it mobile friendly, and so it is something to start considering. There is a whole nother discussion around mobile devices and access, and whether some employees get access on their mobile devices or not, whether they're company-issued mobile devices or they use BYOD. So that's a whole different discussion and topic. But really, mobile is one of those really important wins you can get to actually support your digital workplace and get everyone engaged and using the digital workplace as quickly and as soon as possible. Search is really important because there is such an overload of information these days. There's just so much information. So a powerful search feature on your intranet means that the right information is only a click away. We're also trained and so used to just going and finding that search bar and quickly typing something in and searching for a piece of content or a document or a policy or whatever other information it is. So you need to make sure that your digital workplace is very easy for a user to search, because that's going to be the first place you go to, especially when you don't know where to go. You're going to just look for that search bar and jump in and start searching. Something which is really important is your online forms and workflow processes and how they can help your business processes be part of your digital workplace and create that one-stop shop for your team. A challenge a lot of organizations sometimes have is they've implemented a fantastic digital workplace with a great intranet. They've put a ton of time, effort, and dollars into implementing a solution, and they've got all these great features, but not enough people are actually using them. And sometimes they'll forget to add some of the basic business processes, such as forms and workflows, to their digital workplace. So don't forget those. Those are often very quick and easy to add. They can get you those quick wins and help you build a digital workplace that has all those really nice bells and whistles around the side, but also has the real core business processes as part of your digital workplace. The use of video on your intranet will also help make your digital workplace a lot more engaging and really turn it into a dynamic digital workplace. So you're not going somewhere and just reading tons of content and static information and PDFs and documents and the stuff that isn't as engaging. You're adding video really adds a whole another element to your digital workplace. It's amazing to see how many people don't have any analytics on their intranet and digital workplace. Analytics will provide you with useful information to help you understand how people are using the intranet and what needs to change. So what pages are they going to? What terms are they searching for when they land on the site? What's their path they're clicking through? What's the most commonly completed forms or the most commonly downloaded documents? Which social pages are they going to? Which teams or collaboration spaces are getting the most traffic and traction? So it's really important to add analytics to the site as well. It's something that often a lot of people forget, but really an important requirement there. Document management with version control, permissions, and search, it's really going to help turn your intranet into a pivotal part of your team's daily routines and part of that digital workplace. So it's something that is really important to make sure you've added there to your digital workplace. Now, social collaboration is another great way to engage your team, letting them share, create, and collaborate in an easy-to-use and intuitive way. And following on from that, project and team workspaces, and there's a screenshot of an example of one on the screen there for you. Setting up team workspaces lets users post comments and share documents and information with each other. And the benefit of having this as part of your intranet and your digital workplace and not as another third-party application you're trying to integrate is that it's all together. So users are going to that central place, that digital workplace, where they can get the information they want. They've got the forms, they've got the workflows, the policies, the procedures, the documents, integrating to the other tools they might be using in the organization. But really that whole social collaboration area is something that just everyone knows how to use it, they know what to do, and it's a great way to engage users in your digital workplace and to, again, get one of those quick wins in how do I get everyone to actually work with us and be part of the digital workplace. And the last point there is self-service, and your intranet really should become a self-service portal to the team as part of your digital workplace. How does an employee feel empowered and like they know what's going on when they go there? They don't have to go ask someone, what do I do, where do I go? They can land on their digital workplace. It's intuitive, it's easy to use, it's personalized to them so that they're seeing the appropriate information based on role, permission, location, department, and it becomes this one-stop shop self-service portal. So that's really something to consider there in terms of how do you support your new digital workplace, how do we put all the theory into action and start getting those wins. So what are the next steps to creating your digital workplace? At Elcom, we would love to help you create your intranet and digital workplace or support you in improving your current intranet or digital workplace. So a lot of people in the poll over there said they were looking at implementing one or they're in the process. More than happy to discuss that with you and see how we can help and support you. We also have a great ebook available on the Elcom website that is free to download, the 6-step guide for a social intranet business case. This is a really useful resource to help you and your team build your business case to create your digital workplace intranet. So for those that don't have it on board yet and are working out, how do I get management to sign off? How do I get that budget approved? This is a fantastic resource that you can go and help bolster up your business case there and help you get that over the line. So as a business, you can start benefiting. I hope you found the information provided interesting, useful, and relevant, and something you can pick up and start running with and using straight away. Before we get to the question and answer section, I did want to give you a quick overview of Elcom and Elcom CMS. Elcom is a globally recognized web CMS platform. With over 1 million end users worldwide and a global team, we collaborate with mid to enterprise organizations to assist them achieve their corporate and digital objectives by delivering powerfully simple web solutions and customer experiences. Elcom CMS powers digital workplaces, intranets, websites, portals, mobile, social, and e-learning sites. With over 90 base features out of the box, Elcom CMS makes it easy for you to quickly and cost-effectively deploy solutions to support collaboration across the organization. So that's a bit of an overview about Elcom, who we are, what we do, and how we can help you. So let's jump into some questions and answers. I've also got on the screen contact details, so feel free to contact us to arrange an obligation-free consultation. We'd be more than happy to discuss your digital workplace needs and objectives, as well as review your technology requirements, discuss some challenges, and work with you on the next steps to see how we can support you further. So a question that's come through is, what is the size of the organization for the digital workplace? There really isn't a specific size that is correct or appropriate and right or wrong. Every organization is different. So there are organizations that might be around the 20-person or 40-person size that are thinking of a digital workplace and can see the value and benefit there. And then those that are 15, 20,000 plus that would be able to use a digital workplace. So there's really no size of organization that limits whether or not this makes sense for you or this is a good idea. Another question that comes through is, can you suggest a good analytics program for our intranet? We have no access to Google Analytics from behind our firewall. Good question there. So there's a range of different analytics solutions. Obviously, I'll mention that Elcom CMS has an analytics platform as part of Elcom CMS and our web CMS. So if you're using Elcom CMS for your intranet, you could use the Elcom CMS analytics platform. But there are other third-party analytics platforms out there that can often be added to and integrated with as well. Another question, our current intranet does not have any search capabilities. How can we help our organization's digital workplace if the users cannot search? That's a really good question, and obviously I've mentioned search quite a bit throughout the webinar today. Search is definitely an important requirement to making your digital workplace user-friendly and productive. We've spoken about that. There are a couple other options you could look at. I won't get into those now, so I'd be more than happy to chat to you about them offline, because you really do need to make sure that users can search for the information and documents they're looking for. So, happy to chat to you about how Elcom CMS could help there. Got to mention that. But it's a big challenge if users can't search and find the information they're looking for. Another question that's come through, is it safe to assume that Elcom supports the functionality in the webinar, specific in reference to integration with third-party systems and the team workspaces? So good question there. Yes, we do support the functionality that we've discussed in the webinar today. So that's not a problem. With regard to integration to third-party systems, again, you can integrate to third-party systems. The big question around integration, whenever you're doing any piece of integration work, and I can see that actually there's another question around that anyway, is are there any limitations to third-party integration? A really big question there are things such as, where are those different systems hosted? What type of access do you get to them? What are the APIs in those third-party systems? So those are the big questions there, but does Elcom cover a lot of the other functionality we've spoken about? Yes, definitely. Team workspaces, definitely. Social collaboration, definitely. Integration, really powerful API in Elcom CMS to integrate with, and obviously we'd have to look at your third-party systems there. But a really good question there to be asking as well. So another question again around integration is, what applications do you recommend the digital workplace intranet should integrate to? That again is a great question, and the answer really will depend on your organization's specific requirements. So another aspect is to actually look at what integration means to you as an organization, to your team, and what path do you want to go down? Do you want to look at a real deep, full integration project? Sometimes some users are just happy with actually a link to an external system. So the easiest way to really think about it, I guess, is asking the question and asking yourself the question, what systems does a person need to access on a frequent basis from the intranet and the digital workplace? And that should then help you plan that out and get a better idea of what your digital workplace is actually going to look like and what that roadmap will be, which we spoke about during the webinar. Again, every organization is completely different there. So another question over here is, I'm having trouble getting my business case over the line. Any tips? So something I guess everyone's gone through, some have successfully gone through that and others are still working their way through. So it really comes down to reviewing your current situation and working out how best you can provide that value to the business. I'd suggest start small with a few areas of the business, prove the value with those, and then you can grow from there. So don't try change everything all in one go, because that becomes a really big project, and sometimes it's hard for certain management and executive teams to get over the line with that. So pick on a few different areas that you know you can provide value and get a quick return on investment. So, whether it's as basic as policies and procedures or social collaboration, getting social feeds up and team workspaces up. Think about your business, what makes the most sense, and then start with that and then prove it, and then you can grow from there. The ebook that's available on the Elcom website I mentioned a little bit earlier is also something you could download and help with that, building that business case. Another one, what are the best ways to increase collaboration? So again, we spoke about this during the webinar a bit. Adding the functionality that enables the social collaboration, it's really going to help you provide your team with a useful tool that they'll find familiar and easy to use, especially with how much everyone uses social networks these days. So if you've got a social module or some type of social Q&A feature that you can easily add to your intranet, it's something your team will have the ability to use, and it's designed in a way to make it easy for them to collaborate, to share, to communicate. And remember, because of the interface, they'll just be up and running and know how to use it. They don't need to learn how to use a social tool. So by ensuring that it's actually part of your intranet, your digital workplace, and not another separate application, you're going to help provide your users that one-stop shop for the digital workplace, and it'll really help increase collaboration. A question, how customizable is the Elcom front end? Yes, very flexible and customizable, so you can use your own CSS and master pages, and you can jump in and edit them, so it's pretty customizable from a look and feel perspective. We train clients on how to do that as well, so happy to discuss that one offline. Last question I'm going to wrap up with over here. Again, I think it's probably something everyone's thinking as well. So the question over here, we want to do everything all at once, but no, we can't. Where should we start? So that's a really good question, and yeah, I'm very happy to be wrapping up on that one. I think it's a really, really good question. So when we have a look at how many exciting ways your digital workplace can actually grow, it does give you that kid in a candy store feeling. What do you touch first? What do you grab first? You kind of want to eat everything all in one go. But really the best approach is to plan it out and build a roadmap. And this is going to help make the design and the deployment stages a lot more manageable. It'll help you manage it from a budget perspective as well as the expectations of the business. So I think it's really important to plan it out and know what's going to be phase one, what's going to be phase two. Let's budget accordingly. Let's plan our timing and our resources accordingly. And that's really going to help you get to that stage where you've done everything, but maybe not all at once. Not every organization can actually turn everything around in one go based on resources, appetite, budget, requirements, sophistication, and the list goes on. So really, you have that kid in the candy store feeling and really try and plan it out and set up the different stages so that you can meet the business expectations, you can deliver to the business, but you're also planning it out and making it digestible and actually feasible so you can successfully deliver on it. At Elcom, we're more than happy to work with you and help define the different stages of the roadmap and help put in place a plan and strategy for success. So we'd be more than happy to chat to you about that as well. So that wraps up the webinar today. Yeah, thank you very much, everyone, for joining. It's been fantastic having such a fantastic turnout for today's webinar, Elcom's Digital Workplace webinar, and great to see all the questions, enthusiasm. It really is a hot topic, and yeah, I think we'll definitely try to run more of these and run some follow-up sessions in the near future. If there's any other questions, contact details are on the screen. More than happy to answer them for you. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a fantastic day, and look forward to the opportunity of working with everyone very soon. Thank you.